somewhere between 5.5 hours into wrestling. Of a night which ended up lasting about 7 hours.
We were all
at this point. We were like, this is a match that I don't particularly want to see, and the fact that I've already been watching this for 5.5 hours, waiting to get to the main events. I kind of just want it to be over to carry on with the pay-per-view.
It should have been a main event match, but it felt like a pre-show match.
It wasn't a good match.
There were matches on NXT that felt better than this match.
Yeah.
Apparently I do that.
You do? If you want to know about this match that's on NXT, by the way, there's also a video with the summary for the NXT TakeOver Orlando.
Try and count how many I've done so far.
Stop it. Right, we'll move on to the next match. The next match was the Brock versus Goldberg. And this match, this lasted a long time. This was a stupidly long match.
Shut up.
By Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg standards. By that, I mean it lasted somewhere between about 5 and 15 minutes.
No, I think the total match.
I'm thinking
without
all seriousness, it was about 10 minutes.
Without the entrances, so cut the entrances out.
Yeah. I'm talking about bell to bell.
Bell to bell, I think it was about 7 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
And it wasn't that great of a match. It was signature move against signature move.
They very much. There was like there's a moveset we're going to stick to, because literally Brock Lesnar pulled out the whole I can do a German suplex, I can do an F5. Goldberg pulled out the whole I can do a spear, I can do a jackhammer. There may, I'm not entirely sure, there may have been some punches as well. But other than that, that's all that it was. It was Suplex City. Yeah, it was a match that was basically as advertised.
Yeah.
It's Lesnar Goldberg, it was a quick match.
It was... I can see why they did that. It got bums in seats.
Yep.
But the matches itself, waste of time.
I disagree, actually. I like the match. I am not going to say match of the night.
Oh no, it was fun.
It was a good match. It was a good match. It wasn't a great match. It was kind of what you expected from a Lesnar Goldberg fight. And to be honest, I think we all know that the main thing that match was supposed to do, because we haven't actually said it yet, so you probably should say it, was the belt moved from Goldberg to Brock. Obviously, there's been lots of talk about Goldberg had a 4 pay-per-view deal, which finished with this WrestleMania.
So obviously it had to happen.
So they had to move the belt. They had to move the belt off of Goldberg to Brock because they need somebody who's on their roster holding the belt.
And spoilers for the rest of this year to the next WrestleMania, but there are talks that that's it now. It's going to stick on Brock for...
there's talk that it's going to stick on Brock until WrestleMania 34. But that being said, we don't get our spoilers from very reliable sources. We get them from a lot of sources. Some of those sources are very reliable, some of them aren't. So,
one of them we get from the Wrestling Observer, so that's a fairly reliable source.
I'm saying we get them from many sources, some reliable, some not.
Okay.
So it might happen, it might not. And even the reliable sources, to be honest,
can be wrong.
The plot from what's going to happen and what's planned to happen can change from day to day.
There has been a few times where it's been reliable that something's going to happen, and then WWE change it last second because too many people know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that could well happen. So yeah, we'll move on from that. Brock beat Goldberg, and it was a good match. It wasn't a great match. It was kind of exactly what you expected.
SmackDown Women's match.
SmackDown Women's match. SmackDown Women's match was originally slated for the pre-show.
Which should have happened.
Yeah, I was very much this match should not be a pre-show. This should be a main event match, or not main event, but it should be on the main show.
Yeah.
Not pre-show, but early main show. And then I saw what they did with the women's match, and I changed my mind
quickly.
Pre-show. It should have been a pre-show match.
Actually, thinking about it, it should have been where AJ Styles' match was been.
I disagree. I think Shane AJ was a great way to open Mania, and it was a great match. I think it should have been where the Intercontinental was, the Ambrose Corbin, which was what it originally was.
But would you have put the IC title match, knowing what you saw? Would you have put it on the main show?
Over the women's match, yes.
Later.
The women's match, it was a serviceable match. It was a quick match, and being the six-pack challenge, which is basically triple threat fatal four-way. So exact same rules apart from the fact it has 6 people in it. It just seemed crowded. It just seemed crowded and thrown together.
So what would you have if you booked that match? Well, if I booked that match, I would have.
I'm not saying I can book it better.
I would have had it as an elimination.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I do much prefer elimination. But then saying that, you had the Fatal 4-Way Raw Women's Championship, which was elimination. You don't want to do too many eliminations. I think with the Raw Women's Championship, without touching the other women's match. Oh, that's depressing. There actually were only 2 women's matches. Cool. Without touching the Raw Women's match, I would have kept that match as it was, and with keeping it as it was, I don't think it should have been on the main show. It's as simple as that for me.
It felt rushed. It felt
rushed, and
it felt
like
crowded. It felt rushed,
and it felt like it was purely there as a way to hand the belt over to Naomi,
who was the champion before getting injured.
And it felt like they did it in that way to hand the belt back to Naomi because of the fact that they weren't entirely sure that she was going to be back when they made the match. That's what it felt like to me.
It was a homecoming match for the local girl who got her belt back.
Yeah. Well, you say homecoming match. Let's be honest. She did win the belt before. She did have the belt before she had to vacate the injury. They didn't put it on her just because it was her hometown. Though I'm sure that probably didn't hurt. Should we move on?
Do we have to?
The next match.
Do we have to talk about this match?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the match. It was Roman Reigns who beat The Undertaker. It was not a good match. I'm going to skim through this match as quickly as I can.
Before he tears up.
It was not a good match.
It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't even good.
The match was drawn out longer than it should have been.
It should have been a 5 to 7 minute match.
It should have been shorter than that, I think, personally.
It should have been around the same length as the Brock Lesnar match.
It was very much. It was dragged out, and I think the reason it was dragged out
was
because at the end of the match, Undertaker left his gear in the ring to retire.
Well, not all of his gear because he didn't work out Starkers.
No. Okay, he left his gloves and his hat and his coat.
I was just being difficult because you've been difficult.
Yeah, fair enough. He left enough to obviously symbolise that was Undertaker retiring, and knowing that the reason the match felt drawn out was probably because Undertaker was very much, this is my last hurrah, this is the last time I'll be in this ring.
It felt painful throughout.
The match was genuinely uncomfortable to watch.
We knew that there was a high possibility that Roman Reigns was going to win, but we also knew that he was going to be booed to crap.
Yeah, we also knew that there was a high probability that Undertaker would not wrestle another match, but I wasn't quite expecting class act Undertaker, old school, literally leaving his stuff in the ring, letting everybody know.
I think he even tried to take off his boots before taking off his other gear.
He might have done. I missed that bit. I've got to be honest. That to me was a very emotional part. Undertaker retiring. We'll miss you.
Yeah. If you see this, Mark, I hope you have a fantastic life, and
yeah,
we'll miss you on TV.
Yeah, he's been with WWE longer than I have been watching wrestling.
I think he started in '93.
Quite possibly.
He missed quite a few WrestleManias.
I was gonna say he's had a few gaps, but he's one of the old school guys, and yeah,
he was one of the big pillars in WWE for the last good 15 years.
Honestly, I could probably spend.
We could make a video.
Such a long time here, just saying how much I remember the Undertaker, and
we could make probably an Undertaker tribute video.
We
basically.
Could. Yeah, and in the off chance that he does watch this, we'll miss you. Very, very remote chance, but I'll put it out there. You will be missed. You were loved. And I think that's probably all we've got to say on WrestleMania. A show that, with the final 5 minutes, will be a WrestleMania that I am sure I and many others will never forget.
Yeah. There is one thing I want to touch on before we quit.
Yeah, by all means.
I was half expecting going back to Seth Rollins, I was half expecting, because it was an unsanctioned match, anything could have happened.
Well, we're just going to say that this is what we thought was going to happen. We thought that Samoa Joe was going to interfere with the match, and we thought, and I think a little bit hoped, that was going to then lead to Finn Balor coming in for the rescue. Because obviously Finn Balor has been noticeably absent since he's returned to ring condition from the TV shows.
But actually no, he hasn't even appeared on TV yet. His first appearance back has been live shows.
That's what I say.
Sorry.
From the TV shows.
Yeah, sorry.
The rumour is that the reason he's been absent is because they wanted to make sure that Triple H would have an opponent should Seth Rollins not be cleared for WrestleMania.
And obviously that was cleared.
Yeah. It's a little bit disappointing really that first WrestleMania since Finn Balor's been called up to main roster, he had to miss purely because they couldn't fit him in. Yeah.
I know this sounds cheap, but I think they should have just put him in the Andre Battle Royal.
Fair enough.
It wouldn't have done anything for him, but it would have given him the paycheck.
And it would have given him the presence, the way to... Because, if you don't watch the review videos, if you don't watch the random spoilers or the random, summaries, you wouldn't even know that he's actually back. There's been... I don't think there's actually been anything WWE themselves have released to say that he's back, apart from
YouTube videos.
Literally the live shows.
On the YouTube channel, they showed the Finn Balor.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah. And that.
Yeah, but it's still very little.
Yeah.
It's still very little to say that he's actually back. So yeah, I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Well,
moving forward, where would you see things going?
What sort of things?
Storylines. Let's say, for instance.
Oh, we could get on to fantasy booking, but that's going to make this a much longer show.
Shall we wrap things up?
think we'll leave it there. It was a good pay-per-view. Actually, no, it was a great pay-per-view. It was a great pay-per-view, and
wow, it was an ultimate thrill ride.
it actually genuinely was. And the Hardys coming back was a big thing. I'm glad I watched that live, so I saw that rather than hearing about it and then seeing it, and it was sad, but I am glad that
You watched live.
we got to actually see
Undertaker's last
the
match.
end of the era, the Undertaker.
I just hope that they feel. Obviously, now moving forward, there's going to be massive gaps. It will feel a little bit more empty heading towards WrestleMania season. I hope they know how to fill that spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they can fill that spot. But, on that, I think we'll call it a night. As local time for us, it's now 27.
And you need to get to bed.
Yeah, we could do with going to bed. So, thank
Take
you
care.
for watching. Good night.